If you are experiencing foundation issues, get a free estimate from Ox Foundations.
Third-year coach Jonathan Beverly joins us this morning as the Childersburg Tigers get set for the first game of the season against the Shelby County Wildcats. And Coach, you got a lot of guys coming back, especially on the defensive side of the football, that you're excited about.
Really excited about our defense. 8 returning starters. Our entire defensive line, all 4 defensive linemen returned for us that started last year. So we feel really good about that unit, and feel good about our offensive unit. We lost a couple big playmakers for us last year, but we feel good about the guys that we've got coming back. But again, can't sing the praises of our defense enough. And played really well in the spring, had a good summer. And so we feel like that's going to be the foundation of our team, and that's going to allow our offense to hopefully catch up, hopefully the next couple of weeks and be on the same page.
All right. Do you see this team with the building blocks that you kind of have in place there continuing to strengthen? You're in your 3rd year now. Is this about going like you thought it might go?
I thought last year we were maybe a year ahead of schedule. When I came in, we played a lot of freshmen and sophomores in year 1. And I thought maybe it would take another year for us to get into postseason contention. But last year, I thought we maybe exceeded expectations. And so this year, the expectations are high, but I think we're ready to live up to them. Those guys that were freshmen and sophomores in year 1 are now juniors and seniors in year 2, and we feel really good about that group. We've got a great group of juniors and seniors that are really leading our team in the right direction, and we feel really good. And our motto this year is to keep climbing. Mm-hmm. And so obviously we want to take steps forward, and we don't want to look behind, but we want to keep climbing in the right direction.
Who are some of those young men, Coach Beverly, that not only lead on the field, but off the field for your team?
I think it starts with our captains. We've got 4 really great captains this year, guys that we feel good about. Terry Thomas, a junior, a highly touted player who does a lot of good things on the field, but again, leads well off the field. Austin Douglas, our quarterback, who's really grown into a leadership role and has done a really good job with just, doing the things that he's coached to do and then taking some initiative as well. Mm-hmm. Christian Guerrero, who's just an all-around team guy. I mean, he's the epitome of a team-first guy. And then Keyshawn Reynolds, this will be his 3rd year starting at center for us. He's another junior, but a guy that was thrown into the fire as a freshman, embraced that role, and then, fast forward 2 years later, he's a guy that's definitely another leader for us that does things the right way.
The Tigers made the playoffs last year for the first time in a while, and not only is the football team and coaching staff expecting bigger and better things even this season, but the fans are hungry for a winning program. Looks like you're putting that together there.
Absolutely. We've got a great community. We've got a great fan base. We've got a great administration, a lot of people that support us and do a great job in helping us out with our program. And so, long story short, they're hungry, we're hungry, and we want to be able to give them a great product on Friday nights and give them a program they can be proud of.
Well, you kind of springboarded from your spring game against St. Clair County, which is a good football program, and played well there. Coming into the fall, what do you see the first game for Childersburg? What are some of the things that Tigers going to have to do to continue to be successful?
Well, we need to build off of obviously what we did in the spring. I thought we did a great job taking the football away. We caused a number of turnovers in the spring game, and we've got to find a way to do that tonight. Obviously, whenever you win the turnover margin, you give yourself a great opportunity to win the football game. So that's one of the things that we're going to look to do. Shelby County's a tough, physical football team. They control the football. They limit your possessions. And so offensively, we've got to be really efficient tonight. We've got to be extremely efficient. We can't waste possessions. We can't waste opportunities. That's something that we've stressed this week. And I feel like if we can be efficient with the possessions that we get, we can obviously put some points on the board. And again, we can do everything right defensively, and Shelby County will still find a way to hold the football for 3, 4, 5 minutes at a time. And so we've got to find a way to maximize our opportunities on offense.
You need a nice crowd tonight, too.
We need a great crowd. It's going to be great weather. It's football weather already. It's crisp and cool, and we're looking forward to a great night tonight.
Coach Jonathan Beverly, head football coach and athletic director at Childersburg High School. The Tigers get set for their home opener tonight against the Shelby County Wildcats. And first game of the season, a lot of times you see cramps, a lot of times you see turnovers and things like that. How do you try to minimize those?
We've done the best we can this summer to get our kids in the best physical shape they can possibly be in. A lot of it also is just having some mental toughness, understanding that, there's going to be some times where you're on a 10, 11, 12 play drive and you're not getting a water break necessarily in the middle of that drive. And so, just having some mental toughness. And we've tried to put our kids in some tough situations this summer, some adverse situations where they've got to think when they're tired, where they've got to be able to go the extra mile when they don't feel like it. And so I feel like our kids have risen to the occasion during our training sessions and during our fall camp. And so we feel like we're in as good as physical shape as you can possibly be in week 0. And, it's inevitable that somebody's going to cramp up tonight. I mean, it's cool by our standards in August, but it's still going to be in the 80s and it's still going to be, humid. So those are just things that we're going to have to work through, and hopefully we're prepared for tonight. And I think we are.
Do you script first 10, 15, 25 plays for a game?
First 10 plays are scripted, and that's something that we go over towards the latter end of the week. And hopefully that builds a level of confidence, builds a level of familiarity with the offense to be able to say, okay, these are the plays that we ran Wednesday, these are the plays that we ran Thursday, this is where we are, and Lord willing, we're in a situation where things are clicking to start the game.
You're looking at the scripted plays of 10, you get to play 8. Do you ever get antsy and say, well, let's divert from this and do something else? Do you ever do that?
Well, I think it depends on maybe the point of the season that you're in. I think early in the season, that temptation is greater because you're kind of playing the guessing game, because you're going off last year's film. Shelby County, by all accounts, we're about 90% sure they're still going to be doing the, similar things that they have done in the past. But we could come out and play 3. They jump into a different defensive front that they have been in the last few years, and all of a sudden we've got to do some things on the fly. I think when you get later in the season and you've got 2 or 3 football games that you've seen on an opponent on film, and you've done a good job with your film study, I think you feel a little bit more comfortable with the script that you've got planned out. But I think early in the season, maybe the first 2 or 3 weeks, I think the temptation is there to say, okay, we might be play 8, it might be play 3, where you say, okay, we got to go off script, we've got to take advantage of this or do something a little bit different. But hopefully tonight, Shelby County comes out and does some of the things that they've been doing the last couple of years, but you just never know. And that's the fun of it too early in the season. Everybody, has a fresh slate, and there's going to be some things that everybody does a little bit different.
All right, Coach, good luck tonight to the Tigers against Shelby County, and we'll see you back here next Friday morning, hopefully with that first W.
Yes, sir.
All right, Coach Jonathan Beverly, head football coach and athletic director at Childersburg High School. Kick tonight at 7 o'clock, the Tigers and Wildcats. More daybreak right after you watch this.